Do you feel overwhelmed by your business? Well, you're in luck. I'm Grant Dowsett and I went from drowning in booze to ocean views, and now I help men who are the leaders in business to go from overwhelmed to in control with my Visioneering formula. Everything you ever wanted is sitting on the other side of your fear. You've probably heard that quote before or something similar. Sounds true, even inspirational, right? But when fear actually shows up in your body, that quote usually disappears from your mind pretty damn fast. You're about to hit send on that big proposal, or you're about to make a large investment. Maybe you're seriously considering leaving that job you know is slowly killing your soul. And when it happens, first your chest tightens, then your stomach drops and your thoughts start racing. You feel that cold, uneasy sensation move through your body. And in that moment, your mind says, maybe now's not the right time. I'll just wait a bit longer. I need to be more certain first. That moment right there, that's what my saviour, Bob Proctor, called the terror barrier. And it's one of the most important concepts in my entire Visioneering formula. Because when you don't understand this, you'll sabotage every big goal you ever set. Here's the first thing you need to know. The terror barrier is not an actual wall, it's a threshold. But most people treat it like a solid brick wall and turn around the second they feel it. When you set a goal that actually requires growth, not a safe goal, not a comfortable goal that you know how to achieve, but a real one, your old programming jumps into panic mode. Your subconscious mind is designed to keep you in the familiar, not successful. So when you start moving outside what's known, it sends danger signals to your body, including but not limited to things like a tight chest, racing thoughts, doubt and fear. The list goes on. And your mind interprets these sensations as a warning, stop. But here's the truth. Very few people ever learn that fear doesn't mean stop, it means go. The terror barrier only appears when you're about to truly expand. If you don't feel it, you're either playing too small or you're going after the wrong goal. Every meaningful breakthrough in your life will require you to pass through it. Every single one. I know this because I've been there myself many a time. When I first invested big in mentorship with Bob Proctor, it was a shitload of money for me at the time. Bob didn't come cheap. And mate, you reckon I wasn't sweating bullets or what? I was so far from feeling confident about any of it. I certainly didn't feel anywhere near ready, as my wife had recently left me because I was such a fuck up on the way to drinking myself to death. I definitely didn't feel calm about it. In fact, I was terrified now that I think about it. At the time, my life was completely falling apart around me. Things were very dark and messy. When I say that, I mean it could have gone either way. If it had continued the way it was going, I might not be here today. Probably wouldn't. If I was going to make it, I needed a full-on last-ditch Hail Mary of a comeback, or I would never be able to pull myself out of the very deep hole I was at the bottom of. And I knew it would have to be something very uncomfortable. If I wanted next-level results, I couldn't keep making safe or lazy decisions. I needed to instill next-level courage. That decision went completely against my conditioning at the time. Every part of my old programming was screaming, don't do it, are you crazy? Make the safe choice. What if it doesn't work and you make it worse somehow? Or the big one, don't do anything and maybe it will magically work itself out. But something deep within me knew the truth. Staying where I was could cost me far more than the investment in myself with Bob did. That one single decision changed the trajectory of my life forever. And since then, I've watched the exact same pattern play out with dozens of men I coach. Different industries and backgrounds and decisions to make. Same moment, same fear, same terror barrier. Here's where most people get stuck. They don't understand the difference between biological fear and conditioned fear. Biological fear is real danger. It keeps you alive. If a car's about to hit you, that fear is useful. Conditioned fear is learned. It's emotional memory. It's past experiences. It's your old stories. Conditioned fear exists to keep you in the familiar, but not fulfilled. Most of what people call fear in business, money and life is conditioned fear. And conditioned fear will destroy your potential if you let it run the show. Once you learn to tell the difference between you become dangerous, in a good way. This reminds me of a past client of mine, Lee. Lee knew he needed help. He knew something had to change, but he delayed working with me for months. He went back and forth. He analysed, he rationalised, and underneath it all, he was sitting right on the terror barrier. Eventually, he made the decision and pulled the trigger. He told me later that he literally cried after making the payment. Not tears of regret, tears of release. What he didn't realise at the time is something I see again and again. The moment you decide to be mentored and put the cold hard cash down, your goal, whatever it might be, is already more than 50% achieved, as long as that mentor follows the right methods, that is. But the real reason is that you have fully committed. You've crossed the internal line. You've stopped negotiating with fear. You've chosen yourself. That decision alone rewires your self-image. Lee went on to triple his client base that year. Not because the fear disappeared, fear was still there, but it was no longer in charge. This is the part I really want you to hear. The terror barrier always shows up right before a big level up. If you're not feeling it, you're not stretching. If you keep turning back to safety and avoiding it, you'll stay exactly where you are, just older and way more frustrated. Courage isn't something you wait for, it's something you build by acting in spite of your fears. Every time you trample the terror barrier, it gets weaker. You get stronger, your identity shifts. So if you're feeling that tightness right now, if you're standing on the edge of a decision, if something inside you knows it's time, don't shrink back, don't overthink it, trample the shit out of it. That's how freedom is built. And if you want help doing that fast as possible, with structure, clarity, and a lot of support from me, then apply to see if you qualify for my new and very limited free one-on-one 5-day Visioneering challenge, where we shatter your one biggest bottleneck and leaving you very excited about your future in just 5 days. The links are in the description. Bye for now. From Grant, I literally program you for success, Dowsett.